Gems, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Gems, y'all got the river, the dead end, the hunter, and the siren. Gems. Well, I mean, the dead end is just the idea of like you can't move past that. Like you're stuck, and I feel like this sense of missing out is coming from this feeling of like being stuck. Like, I'm going to miss what I really want to do because I'm stuck doing something that like is taking up my time, it's taking up my energy, it's taking up my like my mental and emotional capacity. Like I feel like there are all of these things that are like taking up all of this space. I don't know, maybe some of you are cleaning right now because I just feel like all I want to do is just like clean it out. There's something that you want to do. There's something that's calling to you. There's something that's like, if I don't remove these blockages, I'm not going to make it to what I want. There is very much a sense of urgency here. Gems, I don't know what y'all are doing. I don't know how this will resonate. Let's do clarifiers and see what else we get, because there's definitely, I mean, between the hunter and the river, there's like that like rushing energy. But I feel blocked. I feel blocked. Okay, gems. Let's see what else we can get for y'all. Hope everyone's having a lovely day today. It's a beautiful day today. Finally got my car back. Oh my God. What an endeavor. But listen, blessed. Okay. The Three of Swords, the Six of Wands, the King of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Strength, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Hierophant, and the Ace of Pentacles. Well, I don't know. Whatever this blockage is, it feels like, well, I don't know, because I just want to clean. I just want to clean. But like, what are you cleaning? I guess you're cleaning out any energies. These could be your energies or other people's energies, but just like this, that's not going to work for me. That's not going to work for me. That's not going to work for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care what like package it comes in. If it doesn't align with me, then it doesn't stay with me. You know what I mean? And the more aware and the more in tune you are with your own sense of self, your own purpose, your own drive, your own calling, like the less amount of time you feel the need to spend on things that just don't align with you. Right? I mean, that's just, well, and we're like in all this fire energy now. So it's just like, go, 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 do. Things. People. You know what I mean? For a lot of my gems, I do think that maybe you're getting a new job that's kind of moving you in another direction, because I mean, you have the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, Strength, the Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. I mean, it does seem like there's something that you're being swept up in doing, like whatever the sense of urgency is. And if it is a job, I'm sure, like it's not like people offer you an opportunity and then they're like, yeah, let me sit on that for 3 to 6 months and decide, while you decide whether or not you want to take this opportunity. You know what I mean? I feel like that's that, like that sense of hurriedness. Because again, like, well, I don't know how it will resonate for you individually, but I do kind of get the feeling that there is this sense of like, shit or get off the pot. And you were just going to milk the time for all you could. But I don't know. I just feel like that's not going to fly for whatever situation you're dealing with. And so I think that you like, I don't know, maybe there's this sense of like, I don't want to go for it because if I do, then it'll be, like I'll be burning a bridge, or I'll be doing this. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how that will play out for you, because it does feel a bit like a burned bridge, like a, well, let me drag my feet because this person's dragging their feet, and if they drag their feet, then this person has to drag their feet, and then you have to wait. And even though none of this has anything to do with you, I'm just going to make you wait, because why? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like there's this sense of, no, sorry, like time's up. You have to take another opportunity. You have to take this opportunity when it presents itself to you, or you miss the opportunity. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know where this urgency is coming from though, because I don't feel like anybody's mad or anybody, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel anything really. I just feel like, oh my God, like I have to make this decision. Like I have to. I don't know. Oh, well, if you're at work and you're in the middle of some really big project, and it's like, well, like I can't, like, can I stay and finish this project, or like, do I have to take this job right now? And it's like, sorry, you can't stay and complete this project. And even though you're knee deep in it, like, that's just like that's doesn't have anything to do with this. And if you're not going here, then like we're going with somebody who is. You know what I mean? It does. It just feels like this, like it's a decision that needs to be made. And there's a great deal of understanding, but I think that understanding requires a level of strength, because whatever it is that you're doing, I feel like there's a sense of having to turn your back on one thing in order to do another. What you're turning your back on, though, really does feel like a dead end. So I just want to like encourage you to take a deep breath and recognize when you're holding on to things that like you really need to hold on to, and recognize when you drag other people through things because you won't let go of something that you shouldn't even be holding on to, and you're demanding that other people hold on to it on your behalf, and it has even less to do with them. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It's like asking a marine biologist to, like hang out in the desert and take care of the cacti. You know what I mean? Like, what? No, why? Do you know what I mean though? Like that's that feeling. And again, that feeling doesn't seem angry or resentful or hurt or anything, which is why it does. And there are a lot of pentacles here, swords, wands, so it all seems very like around a job, around a community, around something, and a decision needing to be made, because one thing isn't going to wait for you to finish something with something else. I don't know how that plays out for you, but yeah, and you can be on either side of the story or dealing with somebody in this energy, like these are general reads, so please do take what resonates and leave the rest. Queen of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and Justice. Yeah, well, I mean, I love that you have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like whatever decision it is that you're making, Gems, you're making a decision that brings an end to an energy that is very tumultuous. I feel like it's one that like asks more of people than it has any right to ask of them, and then attacks them accordingly. What improper expectations, like if you're going to move with integrity, then you need to have intention. And if you try to blur the lines, if you try to, move without intention, then you move without integrity. And I feel like maybe that's been a blockage. You've been moving without intention so that you can blur the lines. Or you're dealing with somebody who's moving without intention so that they can blur the lines. But it's like, I feel like whoever it is that they're trying to blur the lines with, like there's no blurred lines there. Like, sorry, line drawn, like, and if you were going to blur that one, then I'll draw one over here that can't be blurred. You know what I mean? Bring justice to myself, bring justice to the situations at hand, and go for what it is that I really want. Right, Gems? Because I feel like ultimately, who wants to waste their time playing games with petty people and who exist in ignorance intentionally, like ill. That's not I feel like that's just like not a smart move. I don't know. I just feel like whatever it was that you were doing, I just feel like you weren't being smart about it. Not because I don't think you're smart, but because I think that for whatever reason, it was easier for you to keep the lines blurred. But I feel like that's not the case any longer. Whatever that blockage is for you, you're removing it and you're acting intentionally in your life. Because I mean, especially if it's a job, y'all, especially if it's a job, because you just like you do not want to spend every day of your life you're working with the people who you work with. So you always end up being closest to the people you work with, right? Inevitably, because they know the people, they know the struggles that you face, they know that, like, they know all of the things, right? So like those end up being like your people that you deal with. And if you're in it, like in a work environment where people are constantly blurring lines and there are no roles that are distinguished and everybody just gets away with everything and people get shoved around and pushed in the directions that's convenient for whoever happens to be in charge at that exact moment in time. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like that's a shit show, and nobody deserves to be existing in that type of toxic energy or toxic environment. And so, like, even if you do really love those people, even if you do really care about those people, if those people put you in that type of environment and then hold you there and tell you and guilt trip you and want you to, you know what I mean? Like, that's not okay. And you shouldn't do that. But I feel like if whichever side of the story you're on, if it was occurring, I have a feeling that it's not occurring any longer because it's been brought to light. It's been addressed properly. And therefore it comes to an end, right? And when it comes to an end, you're free to finally start acting on behalf of yourself, especially if it's business, you guys, because what you're putting all of your energy and all of your time, all of your focus, everything into something that doesn't put itself back into you. And like, if you want to be successful, if you want to be famous, if you want to be what just like above average, you know what I mean, then you better be focused and intentional with what you do and why you do it. You know what I mean? And how you act in one area of your life is how you act in every other area of your life, 9 times out of 10, you know. But I feel like, okay, so I know, so I make good decisions for myself. And when I make good decisions for myself, I ultimately end up making good decisions for other people, because making decisions to keep everyone in a situation involved in a toxic, unhealthy environment to satiate one or two other people is the most absurd thing I have ever heard in my life and is not the quality of leadership. And like, that's okay. Not everyone is meant for a role of leadership. And if you're not meant for a role of leadership, you're going to, one, be constantly feeling like you're under attack because you don't actually know what you're talking about. And two, you're going to constantly be on the defense because you're trying to prove that you do. It's like toxic is toxic is toxic. And it doesn't matter where it exhibits itself. If it's exhibiting itself, it needs to be dealt with, you know. And Gems, I feel like you're dealing with it, but there does seem to be this ticking clock involved with whatever it is that you're dealing with. So I don't know. It's been in your reads though. What? Godspeed, good luck, like competition. I don't know what all you guys have been dealing with, but I just, I feel like you hit some walls, you hit some blockage, and you're being forced to really deal with some things in your life, in your own person, in the people around you, in the environments that you're dealing in the workplace environments, however it plays out for you, family, friends, whatever. I feel like there's a boiling point that's been reached, and now it's almost. I feel like whatever that boiling point is, it's like you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. I don't know what you're gonna lose, but like if you don't do something, you're gonna lose. Gems. I don't know, you guys, because I don't know what you need to do, and I don't know what type of environment you're dealing with, and I don't know what types of people you're dealing with, and I don't know how this will resonate for you individually, whether it's a job or a relationship or, again, a group of friends, a community, whatever. I have no idea. But whatever it is that you were going for, wherever you were feeling those blockages, I feel like you are dealing with the blockages. Well, Gems, I guess that's it. If this does resonate with you, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. Sending you lots of love. I don't think that this seems like a pleasant experience at the beginning of it. I think that in the end it'll be okay, because you're not gonna allow anything to block you from, like what it is that calls to your soul. And so I have confidence in you. But yeah, I love y'all so much. Please do give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.